Today we're going to talk about something called exclusion zone water. It's also called EZ water, and this is in line with the previous videos I've done about how our bodies are electric. And so if you want to kind of address the foundations, I would go back to that first video. What's exclusion zone water and the impacts it can have on your health? Hey, I'm Priscilla. I'm your Houston, Texas nurse. I'm going to help you take action today for a healthier tomorrow. Our bodies are electric. That electricity aspect of our body seeps into the aspect of the water inside of our body. As we all know, our bodies are filled with water. They're majority water. It's estimated that our bodies are 60% water. Over half of our body is water. Then we should take care to monitor the quality of the water inside of our body. And the water inside of our body is different than the water that we get out of tap water. That's why when you go get an IV or if you're having a procedure, the bag of water in that IV bag is not tap water. That could kill someone. It has minerals and other things in it because our body does not absorb just plain water. Now, what we're going to be talking about is not the water inside of the IV bag, but just to kind of put it into a broader understanding, the tap water, whether we get it from a sink or a hose, wherever, or rain, it's not the water inside of our body. That's different. Waters in our body, we are actually majority water, over 60%. Water is vital to our bodily functions, from how our brain works, to our bowel function, even to our blood. Did you know that the water inside of our body has a charge? Of course it has a charge, that's what we're talking about. This water, like I said, is called exclusion zone water. And this type of water is the fourth phase of water. We've heard of, or we're familiar, we've been taught in typical science lessons that water can be a solid, it can be liquid, it can be vapor, but easy water is the fourth phase. It is a gel-like substance. We have something in our body called extracellular fluid or intracellular fluid. Extracellular fluid is fluid outside of the cells, and it flows through the blood vessels. So if these are cells, extracellular fluid is around the cell and it flows through the blood vessels, the lymphatic system, things like that. Cell, the outside of the cell and the system, it's something called hydrophilic. Hydrophilic simply means water loving. Water is required for them to function properly. So that's extracellular. Intracellular is inside of the cells, and inside of our cells, the water content goes up to 70%. And the surfaces are hydrophilic as well. So water is even more important when we think about what's going on inside. It's important all around, right? But it is even more important when we think about what's going on inside of our cells. And so let's learn why. Just a reminder, the water we're referring to is not water we drink out of tap water. This is not something that you go buy. You will not go buy easy water. We want to create it in our system, in our body. This water has a charge, and it is imperative to the intracellular and extracellular functions of our body. Someone named Gerald Pollack has provided a lot of helpful insight into this. He's done a lot of research. I'll post one of his videos below. But although there's new research, this isn't a new idea. This exclusion zone water has been thought about in the past. Someone named Sir William Hardy over a century ago argued that there was a fourth phase of water, and many scientists have agreed with it since then. What Gerald Pollack has found in his research was that energy from the sun builds this water. And another way to refer to this water is that it is actually structured. And I'll show you an image where you can see the charges are on one side, the other charges are on the other. And this structured water, it is basically what exclusion zone water has done. It takes chaos and it provides order. And that is what exclusion zone water is. It's structured water. Interesting aspect is that for this order to occur, it requires light. That's something that Gerald Pollack found. So in order to take chaos and provide structure, light is required. I mean, if that's not biblical, I don't know what is. So something that's also really important to realize is that the fourth phase of water carries a charge. And where do you think it gets this charge? Well, a lot of times it's from light. That's one way. Light, especially infrared light, And infrared are a type of wavelengths. They're not visible to the naked eye, but they come from the sun. Also, if you've infrared lights are big tools used right now, like infrared sauna, or I use infrared. You can buy infrared for to use at home, but basically it's taking that type of waveform that is also available from the sun certain times of day, usually early morning or late evening, and putting it in a machine. But that infrared light is helpful to create this structured water. To build structured water in the body, infrared light is really helpful. You can do that by walking out in the sun, and if the cell doesn't have enough of the structured water, it will not function properly. And remember how important, or the percentage of water in our body. So think if inside of our cell is 70% water, and that water does not hold a charge, or that water is not structured, things will not function optimally. And so if you have malfunctioning water inside of the cell, then the thousands of things, probably millions of things going on inside of the cell will not happen properly. In order to optimize our health, we need to make sure that the cell is filled with this structured, easy water. Otherwise, there can be issues that arise. And since we know that easy water carries a negative charge, just like in a battery, one end of a battery, our goal isn't to drink water, easy water. Our goal is to create easy water in the body. So we need to make sure that we fill our body with enough of an electrical charge, and so that it can do that. What we need to be thinking about is how to supply our body with the electricity necessary to create this exclusion zone water. Here are some cool health benefits, and we'll get to that in a minute, but I want to tell you some cool health benefits about exclusion zone water. So exclusion zone water helps to propel blood flow. And this is how it happens. The lining of our blood vessel is negatively charged. Think of a blood vessel, it's got a negative charge. Exclusion zone water also has a negative charge. So when two like charges come together, what do? Repel, right? And they have a force that opposes each other. They push away from each other. That benefits our body. What we do not want to happen, and when health issues arise, is when blood becomes stagnant, viscous, thick, and is not being pumped through the body efficiently. And when exclusion zone water, remember it's a part of blood, plasma, all that good stuff, when it has its full negative charge, it interacts with the negatively charged lining of our arteries and veins by propelling away. It creates a force. And this force helps to prevent blood clots, plaque buildup, and it promotes proper blood flow. Of course, we know we don't want to have plaque buildup. Of course, we don't want to have blood clots, but you might be like, oh, well, adequate blood flow. Blood flow is the lifeline to get oxygenated blood to all the organs and all the aspects of our body. It is also a way for, think of blood flow as a way for the blood to drop off oxygen and nutrients, but then it also picks up and removes toxins to bring it back to ultimately be eliminated. But blood flow is pivotal to aging well and preventing disease. We need a negative charge and a source of it. This is one reason why grounding has been shown to decrease viscosity of blood. Grounding, putting your bare feet or hands or body on the earth, has been shown to decrease the thickness of blood, and that is because of what we just talked about. It also has been shown to prevent blood clots and to improve blood flow. So of course, if we're going to accept that as a statement, then we need to know why. And the reason why is because healthy blood flow requires exclusion zone water. It requires that negative electrical charge, and that's how. Another aspect is that easy water also benefits overall health because the charge separation is what drives every process in the body, from muscle contractions, nerve production, ATP, energy production, and many more things. Easy water also plays a role in decreasing free radicals. I talked about free radicals in the previous video. Easy water protects against long-term oxidative stress. So if we can promote easy water, it will help us age well. It will decrease inflammation, and it will help us to detox well. Easy water also properly rehydrates tissues better than ordinary water because it has a higher opposing charge. How does that work? Well, the greater the opposing charge, right, positive and negative, the stronger the draw. So if you have something that's very, very, very positive and something that's really, really, really negative, they're attracted to each other, right? We talked about if it's two negatives, they repel. If it's a positive charge and a negative charge, they have a draw. And so since easy water has a negative charge and it has masses of separated charges, it's basically it is structured, right? There's a negative charge area. Easy water should rehydrate the cells more efficiently, get into that intracellular, get into that extracellular space better than non-structured water or water that doesn't have as much of an electrical charge. So how can we grow easy water? How can we have more of an abundant electrical charge? We need to stay hydrated with mineral-rich water. We need to drink high quality, in my opinion, filtered water, but you also want to make sure that it's clean, of course, and that you can put sufficient minerals in it to increase absorption, such as potassium, sodium, magnesium. Even if you just put a simple sea salt, pinch of sea salt in your water, that's one way, but you do want to stay hydrated. Another thing is light from the sun. Time outside, light therapy can be very helpful. Sauna and sweating. Grounding we talked about. Nutrient-dense foods, fruits and vegetables provide minerals and nutrients necessary to increase the electrical charge in our body, but especially dark leafy greens. Spending time outside in nature. Nature is an abundant source. It's like a bank of electrons. And if we need more, there is always more in nature. So what causes easy water to diminish? What is robbing us of this negative charge in our water, in the water inside of our body? Well, that's when we don't have enough electrons in our body, enough of a bodily charge, and when the electrons are taken away. This in turn makes easy water less efficient and more stagnant. That's not good. It takes what was structured, and then as we have less electrical charges, then negative charges, then it becomes more chaotic and less efficient. So in order to avoid these other things that can lead to a diminished charge in the water inside of our body, too much time indoors or lack of sunlight, heavy metals, toxins, especially glyphosate, which is found in Roundup, EMFs such as wireless vibrations from cell phone towers, wireless internet, things from our cell phones, all that amazing stuff. Dehydration, so not having enough adequate hydration in your body. Also oxidative stress for an extended period of time. You can fill your body with light and with electrical charges. And how cool is that? We need to have an electrical charge to build easy water in our body. That electrical charge helps to take what is chaotic and provide structure. And that structure in the water inside of our body is formed from light. One of the best things that you can do is get natural light. So if you want to have a healthy and vibrant life, we need to support the electricity in our body, but also understanding the importance of the water inside of our body can help kind of fuel that for you too. There's to more structured water inside of our body and learning more about it. I'll be making more videos on this subject with electricity. If there's any questions you have or a topic you'd like me to share more about, just comment below. Hope you have a great day. Take care.